Hi guys, welcome to Tarot in the Dark. So, we are going to do an ancestor message tonight. I was laying down, resting, and picking up on these channeled messages. So, I'm just going to tune in and we'll see what our ancestors have to say. Right away, what I was hearing was there's a burning away of the old to make room for the new. However, parts of you must die too. Okay, so I'm not sure if you guys have heard this before. I think I've mentioned it before in some readings, but whenever the ancestors, my ancestors, specifically are speaking, they rhyme. So I was laying around. I kept feeling like they were telling me to get up, and I was just like, well, whenever you say go, and they said that, and I said it's go time. For some of you, that's significant because for some of you, this is go time. There's an in-between phase that we are collectively sitting in right now. I'm not sure if you've recognized this, but there has already been a shift. So the shift has already occurred in the spirit realm, okay? In the world that we live in, what we see, the tangible, the shift hasn't actually manifested itself. However, spiritually, the shift already took place, okay? This has been happening since the full moon in Cancer, in my opinion. Intuitively, that's what I've been picking up on. So since the 3rd or 4th of January, we've been going through a shift, and it's almost like something happened within the last day or two. I think today is the 10th when I'm recording this. Let me see, guys. Yeah, today's the 10th. So the shift is present. The shift has taken place. However, there's an alignment that must occur within us before the things start to actually manifest. I'm gonna just include myself, guys. I hate to like read and say you, unless I'm doing like a zodiac reading. It just seems like, okay, hello, like I don't know. It's just my personality. Anyways, I don't need to explain that. Let's dig in. I do know that they asked me to pull this deck. This deck is just images. There's no messages, there's no words, there's no guidebook. It's just images. Anytime I pull this deck, I know we're in for a treat because they're going to reveal something that is definitely something we need to hear. Okay, so immediately look at this card. This is a surrender, guys. This is a surrender in order to embrace the new. So there's something in this reading that's going to come out in regards to what needs to be surrendered, what needs to be handed over. It's almost like for some of you, some of us, we feel like we may have been swallowed by a well, okay? This well, metaphorically speaking, this well has been life, where life has kind of taken us under, okay? It's almost like we've been gulped up or gulped up, not gulped, but gulped up by life. And life, in a sense, has taken a toll on a lot of us. There's a lot of wounds that have been accumulated based on experiences that have taken place in life. For a lot of us, it's trauma related. It's related to our own power, they're showing me the solar plexus, the sacral chakra. It's connected to our ability to respond and react in a way that is truly authentic to ourselves. And so something that our ancestors want to bring through clearly is that this dark, this depth, this pain, the suffering, the long suffering I'm hearing, the endurance within us is needing to be brought out. There's something in that needs to be brought to the surface in order for it to be dissipated or resolved, cleared, cleansed, purified. They're showing that like if you're stuck in the dark, you won't be able to receive or see the light. Okay, when that light is being shown, there's a blindness almost, spiritually, that's kind of like a blinder placed over our eyes that would prevent us from being able to see the light. And I'm hearing the glory that has been set before us. So for some individuals that this reading may resonate with, you could have felt like, and you could be feeling even in this moment, that you are still in the dark in regards to what is it that I'm supposed to be doing? Where am I supposed to be going in life? What do you want me to do? Who are my guides? Who do I believe in? like, what are my belief systems? Like, you could have a lot of unknowns. There's a lot of questioning that I'm picking up in this card. And it's almost like for some individuals, you may have been attempting to hold on to that, which that questioning, the unknowingness, the inability to have the answers, the inability to create clarity in your mind and within your physical bodies in this moment is leading to some form of aversion. Okay, they're showing this as an attempt to maintain control over ourselves instead of surrendering. So this message more than likely has a lot to do with surrendering over to the divine in order to allow yourself to be cleansed and to be purified. And that's more than likely why the ancestors are saying, and I'm saying more than likely, I don't like to jump too far into the reading with the first card, but it does feel to me very much so like the ancestors are speaking out in this moment to say, we need you to surrender over your need to control, to formulate, create a plan of how things should be, okay? This has a lot to do with releasing control, negativity, energies that have been keeping you clogged. There's like a blockage. So the blockages are almost like they're showing that I'm trying to figure out how to like formulate this in the way that it's being like shown to me, but it's like there's a blockage within you, within us, that is preventing the crossing over, okay? Like crossing over into that shift. Sorry guys, my child is texting me and he's traveling. But it's almost like there's a Oh, I get it. That's why they were showing me like the swallowing up of the whale, like the Jonah and the whale story. So they're saying like basically you've been swallowed up by the traumas of life. Okay, I'm gonna just say you for the sake of the reading, guys, because it's just rolling off my tongue. Okay, and they could be talking to me too, but I'm just gonna say it that way. So there's almost like you've been swallowed up by a whale. And in the process of being swallowed, if you're swallowed up by a whale, you're going to lose your identity, because where are you? You're now the whale. You've now become the whale. Oh, makes sense. So they're saying that that's what's happened, is that essentially life has swallowed you. And as life has swallowed you, life being the whale, swallowed you, you're now engulfed in that well, right? Now this is the whale's mouth. This is you. Now you are no longer seen. So you haven't been visible. You haven't been visible to others. You haven't been visible to yourself. In order for this shift to occur in reality, you have to see yourself as being visible, worthy, deserving, as being seen. And they're saying even if you're questioning whether or not you should be seen, if you're questioning the validity in that, your worthiness, if you're questioning any of that, that's perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with that. They're saying that with surrender, there is a handover and it's a crossing over. So basically you'll hand over the experience, your dreams, to spirit, your ancestors, and your team, and from there they will take the reins and make it happen. Wow, that is powerful. I'm gonna leave this card out here. That's powerful as heck. Oh my gosh. Swallowed up. I don't know why I'm hearing that TD Jakes thing. Have you ever been swallowed up? Oh my gosh, guys. Okay, look at this card. Now, tell me what you see. Drop it in the comments. You know those little pictures that they pop up on Facebook and they say, "What the first thing that you see is what's going to happen." Okay, no, I'm not doing that, but it did kind of give me those vibes initially. You guys see this? Okay, this is a leaf. I'm seeing a leaf and it has two individuals in it. I'm seeing a divine couple, a union here. This is a feminine and masculine energy. It can be, whatever you want to be is what you are. I don't have a problem with it. Neither do your ancestors. Just be that. But for the sake of the reading, I'm going to read this as masculine and feminine energy. And this is showing up as a divine union where there are two that become one, but there is a surrendering that has to take place on both parts. And this is what this reading is about. It's about surrendering over to the divine your it's almost like they're saying freedom, but they're not saying freedom. It's like your ability to express your true and authentic self freely. There's a merging that's taking place. So this surrender is going to allow you and your divine counterpart to come into union through some type of conjoining. They're showing me conjoined twins who are like conjoined at the head, like their heads are attached together, and there's no way to separate the two. Typically, depending on which part of the brain is attached, you could obviously affect the individual's ability to be able to neurologically, develop, grow, or even mature or function, depending on which part of their brains are attached. They're showing that there's no detaching. The bottom line here, guys, is they're showing there's no detaching of what has been assigned and destined, okay? This is a leaf. You'll notice I mentioned that earlier. There's a leaf here that is one leaf that is connecting them. You'll see the vine is in the middle here. And there's this is a spiritual connection, okay? This is a connection that has been deeply rooted in ancestral dharma, is what I'm hearing. It's also a union that has been justified. I'm hearing sanctified. That's interesting. I'm going to look up that word sanctified. I'm going to look it up later, but justified and sanctified. I know what that means like at church, but I don't know what that means right now with the way that they're telling it to me. But justified, I'm doing it right now. Hold on, guys. I feel like they're giving me like so many messages that I'm like, how do I get all this out? I think a lot of you may be sensing this union coming together, and that can be frazzling to you. Okay, because that's how this feels, is like an energy of being frazzled, but I'm also picking up on an energy of like feeling suppressed. Like as if someone is like squeezing your head or your inner being. Okay, so sanctified means to be made holy. It means blessed. Oh, consecrated, divine. Oh, anointed. Okay, so there's something about this union that has been it's almost like justified by your ancestors. It's been deemed credible, and it also is being shown as a union that is like meant to be. It's destined to be. There's probably more to that they're going to show me shortly. I'm being drawn to the throat chakra. They're also like showing me my throat chakra, and when I pulled that card and I wanted to say they were saying freedom, they were showing like the throat chakra as the expression of yourself, your fullest self. There's something about this union, this person being a mirror, that will reflect back to you your true divinity, but also push you into the opening up of your divinity, okay? There's, freedom, no way. There's something about embracing and accepting that this union is something that you can grow even in desolate lands. And that's very interesting because this card came out here, this trust and divine detours with the coyote spirit. And this is where I think you're coming from. I think being that well, which was metaphorically life that has swallowed you up, I think that this is a divine detour. I think for a lot of you, you were traveling one path, and maybe that's when this well, which was life, came in and sucked you up and almost stole your identity, because you're like, hey, I thought I was going to be over here, But that's not the way that spirit and your ancestors have mapped it out for you. Because over there in this detour, there was cunning energies, there was manipulation, there were maybe a lot of lies and deceptive energy from this coyote spirit. I'm picking up on cunning energy, almost like a fox spirit, where there's something that's being hidden and done behind your back, and maybe even more than you are fully aware of, that has taken place. Your ancestors pulled you out of that, and that's because this old situation, whether it be an old job, an old relationship, an old family dynamic, an old house, whatever it was, the old was not beneficial to the new and your future. There's also something that is very unique about the purpose of you and this person coming together. They're showing me a waterfall in this card now, and the waterfall is indicative of being able to freely express yourself and your emotions. So maybe in other situations, these situations of the coyote spirit, where you had to trust that well swallowing you up, it's almost like that well sucked you up. Life kind of sucked you in order to be able to push you into this detour. Okay, that's how they're showing it. It's like you were going in one direction and your ancestors are like, no, save them. And they come in and they're like, oh, swallowed up by a well. And you're like, oh my God, who am I? What am I doing? Why am I here? What's happening? Why am I going through all this craziness? And then your ancestors are like, spit you out on this path, and now you're going in the direction of your destiny. Okay, now you're going in the direction that's opening you up to freedom, to allow you to explore, to allow you to express yourself. I'm seeing complete authenticity in this horse spirit card with freedom is yours. There's something very majestic about and pure about your ability to walk in your truest form and your truest expression, your truest self. And this divine counterpart that's coming in is a part of the collective tribe that will push you into fully being able to express yourself. They're also showing me that even when leaves fall off of a tree, which would typically show that the leaves are dead, that the leaves still don't die, right? Okay, so they're showing like, does a leaf ever just like dissolve or disintegrate? I mean, like, have you guys ever seen that happen? I haven't, because they're showing me leaves that are like stepped on in the ground, they're smushed in the ground. I've never noticed or thought about that, even that a leaf doesn't actually dissolve or go anywhere. It doesn't disappear. So they're saying that this love will not disintegrate. It will not dissolve. It will not disappear. It will not deceive, manipulate, tarnish, or tamper you and your freedom as well as your identity in any way, shape, or form. This is a divine union, and it is because you both are surrendered to the divine that this is happening. There also is something here in regards to this being magic. This white raven spirit, this is trust in the magic energy. So this is about being able to co-create with spirit and your ancestors in order to bring blessings and gifts to you. Again, they're showing me this white raven being, significant in the fact that this will allow you to walk in purity. There's also something very spiritual about white birds, right? Is a white raven a real thing? It must be if it's in the book, right? Or in the deck. But there's a lot of shifts coming towards you, but spirit and your ancestors are saying that in order for this to actually again show up to where you're tangibly going to be able to feel this, there has to be a surrender, guys. So let's go back to that, because look at the big picture here with the full moon in Sagittarius. So we had a full moon in Sagittarius back in December. I don't know, but I think it was maybe around the 19th or 20th, somewhere around there. And the ancestors are showing this energy again. The full moon in Sagittarius was all about how you connect to the world, how you see the world. What is your big picture? I like to say, like, what is your world view? And in the world, in the big scheme of the world, where is your freedom as an individual? So Spirit is saying, yes, this union is coming. This union is blessed. It is divinely guided. It is absolutely emerging together. I do see separation, and I'm seeing this like merging through emotions together. But How do we get past the wounds that we have here? How do we get past this dark space of feeling like there's a lack of personal power, strength, will? How do we get past the energies that keep us feeling trapped and stuck in the well, even though the well did nothing but grab us just to detour us and put us on the right road, on the right path? Like how do we move past that energy? And your ancestors are saying to see the big picture. This is also showing me like Libra energy. So in order to see the big picture, there has to be some balance restored within you. The only way to restore balance within you is to create some type of focus in regards to where you're going, where you desire to go, and how you're going to get there. Okay, so the first thing that's coming through is as you perceive the wounds that have come from the past experiences, the detours, the traumatic experiences that you've grasped and held on to, which is how this is being shown. When you perceive those energies, how do you perceive them? Do you perceive them through the lens of trusting in the divine detours? Do you see the bigger picture? Are you trusting in the magic? Are you assessing the world through the lens of this pain, this deeply, it's a deep, dark, embedded like wound? And I'm feeling this a lot in my physical body. So I think a lot of you are feeling the same thing in your physical bodies. You'll probably notice you have a lot of tension. You may feel like you're unable to relax, or like it's not easy for you to relax. Again, it's almost like a suffocating energy without it, metaphorically suffocating, not actually suffocating. If so, please go to the hospital immediately or call 911, guys. Obviously, I'm not giving any medical advice here, but this energy feels like an energy of imagine a snake that has entangled you and engulfed you. Or imagine yourself just being in that well that we are metaphorically speaking of, right? Where you are inside of the well and you're like, I can't breathe in here. And it's because this energy is trapped in you. It's stored in you. There's a memory. There's also some memories attached to some ancestral wounds of the past that they're showing me as well. It's wounds around, we talked about this earlier, but it has something to do with your ability to act on your personal desires without influence or feeling like you're being affected by others. So it's basically like moving in a pathway that is aligned with who you are without the input from others, without even taking others' thoughts into consideration. I also want to bring up something that I'm showing here in this union. There's something about this union that feels very different and unique than maybe unions that you've had in the past. So maybe this person isn't your typical type. Maybe they come from a different background. Maybe there are some social economic factors that are contributing to this. It seems like you would look at it and assume that it would be imbalanced. For some of you, you may think, oh my God, I need more time. I'm not ready for this person. I need to heal from these detours. Because it does feel like the way that they showed me that well kind of picking you up. It was like you're going along and the well just swallows you up. And then all of a sudden you're just like a ride. And then now you thought you were going in this direction and now you're going in that direction. And it feels very abrupt. So for some of you, this could have happened very quickly for you. You could still be sitting in the energy of feeling like you're healing, like you need time, like you need space. There's something about opening yourselves up and allowing yourself to receive the freedom that's being offered to you, because there's something coming through. They're saying there's a lack of clarity in regards to how to actually sit in the freedom. For some of you, you may go out and experience freedom by, exercising, walking, playing in the grass, walking in the grass, and it's almost like they're showing like you get to a certain point to where you're like, oh, that's too much. I don't really need to enjoy that much time alone. For some of you, you could be very codependent and relying upon doing for others in a need to validate yourself. And when you're so used to doing so much for everybody else. Especially if you're super empathic, like it's very easy for us to get caught up in doing and being doers rather than receivers. And so this is about you receiving. It's almost like there's, like, I'm seeing this surprise card, which is not in any of these decks, but they're showing me this surprise card. It's almost like this is a surprise that is coming in for you, but you can't accept it. You won't do good by it. Oh, they said you'll infiltrate it. So what they're saying is that if this energy can't get washed, expunged, is what they're saying. That, I think that means like to completely remove or something like that. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, put it in the comments. Sometimes they say words to me and I'm like, what the heck? I went to freaking nursing school. I don't know what all this other stuff means, but it's like an expunge. They want this energy to be expunged from you, siphoned from you, removed from you, so that you can walk in purity and pureness in order to receive that which is coming towards you. This full moon in Sagittarius, look at the bigger picture energy, is your ancestor saying, we need you to see this from a higher perspective. Not all losses are actual losses, is what they're saying. Sometimes losses are, they're showing this, divine protection. Sometimes they are divine detours. Sometimes these losses are actually gains. So there's a need for clarity in regards to the way that you're assessing the past. For someone, they're saying that you may just want to jump into union just to kind of pacify the pain, and they're saying that's not the way through. The way through is to sit with this, to allow the pain to resonate in your body, to attune to the pain. And I know from personal experience, when you've gone through so many traumatic experiences and you're attempting to surrender, you're attempting to open yourself up to freedom, you're attempting to see the bigger picture and really allow yourself to receive and be in a position, in a place to be able to accept things as, Spirit is offering. It's very hard to step into the new when you're still stuck in the old. And so the number one thing that your ancestors want to say right now in regards to that, they're saying that the number one thing to do is, and they're just telling me what they taught me, is to not run from the pain. Whatever you feel it. Okay? If you run, I promise you from personal experience, it's going to chase you. And when it chases you, it's almost like being chased from a dog. Okay? Like imagine being chased by wild dogs in Africa. That's how it feels when you run from the pain. And it's because the pain is like, I'm here. You're not going to get rid of me until you see me. So it becomes an elephant in the room. And it's almost like they're saying that is the big picture. That's the shift. Sagittarian energy is about expansion. This reading is about expanding the way that you see the detours, expanding the way that you see the hurt, expanding the way that you see the bruises, expanding the way that you see the pain. And the interesting thing is that they're showing how it's expansion. Jupiter, Sagittarian energy is Jupiter expansion, which Jupiter is also the sign of luck. But they're bringing this to my attention that Jupiter is also the ruler of Pisces, and Pisces energy is deep. It is the depths of you. It is, I call it the abyss. It's this part, the dark parts of the ocean that only the 1% can actually go to. Okay, so in order for you to tap into the luck that is being offered in this divine union, even if you don't want a relationship, this is divine union with yourself, with spirit, with your ancestors, being able to find freedom in your independence, in knowing and feeling and being in tune with all parts of you. So if not a person, it's union with yourself. And this union can only be received by way of going through the abyss. So in order to expand and tap into the luck energy of Sagittarian and Jupiter, it's about shifting your perspective, okay? Like a hangman energy, shifting your perspective and seeing the uncomfortable situations through the lens of clarity. The clarity is that these situations were divine detours. Again, that coyote spirit, that energy is cunning, it's vindictive, there's something wrong. So it's a matter of embracing the I don't knows. I don't know why this didn't happen, but I trust. That's where the surrender comes in. I trust that this is for my best and highest good. And every day when you wake up, tell yourself that. I trust that today will offer me everything that is for my best and highest good. I remember for a while I would just recite that to myself. I didn't believe it, but I was reciting it. And at some point it started to shift my perspective where I was actually able to see that maybe this isn't that bad. It feels terrible, right? It feels like I'm sitting in this dark energy of nothingness, feeling like I'm unable to get unstuck and untrapped from this well that has essentially swallowed me up. But the freedom is in surrendering over in those moments. Simply saying, I believe that everything is happening for my best and highest good. I trust that all things are working in my favor. Instead of thinking, what if everything goes wrong? I trust that everything is actually going right. This is the best thing that could happen in my life. Even if I don't see it right now, I trust that I will see it at some point. And that's how you tap into the energy of surrender. Surrender does not mean like submitting in a sense that we may have, been told or taught in church, where it's like, oh, you have to surrender over, you don't have any type of say, and I'm sorry guys, I keep tapping the table, but it's not about removing your self-expression. Okay, the ancestors are very clear here. This is not about denying your self-expression. It's about accentuating it. It's about making peace with it. And it's also about finding new ways to express yourself through the lens of spirit versus the human lens that we tend to carry of like, oh, when is this happening? Why did this happen? Who made this happen? Like, whose fault? We want to blame and, do a lot of shifting, and spirit is saying none of that matters. Let's not even focus on the other person. Let's focus on how we can expand your perspective to allow you to put yourself back at the center of your focus and make yourself the main character. And then from there, let's move forward, because we recognize then that this was a divine detour, that this is for your best and highest good. They want me to go to the Serenity card first. Did this come out in another reading I just did recently? It feels like it. You guys, this is one of my favorite decks, but this is the Nordic Lights deck. And this Serenity card is about allowing yourself to sit in peace, okay? It's about making peace is what they're saying clearly. I'm sorry, guys. My throat is really dry. It just got that way when I started doing this reading, which is giving the energy of a lot of you feeling like you're dried up. You feel depleted in a sense that it's like, I don't even know how to start to express myself. And I understand how that feels. I totally understand. So this is your starting place. This is your starting point, which is to find something to be grateful for. Serenity, especially here with what I always look at this card as being lavender, is about cultivating and making peace, finding some sense of peace. I was always taught that no matter what's going on, you better find some peace somewhere. So even if this means to go in your bathroom and, close yourself in there by yourselves, if you have nowhere else to go, in your car, wherever you can go, the backyard, in the closet, in the room, wherever you can go that is safe, find somewhere that you can make peace, okay? Because the one thing about peace that I've learned is that it's not going to find you. You have to find it. And that's what this Serenity card is screaming. And your ancestors are saying that they need you to find some place of serenity and make some peace. They're also speaking to the fact that, okay, so I have a little cousin. Her name is Serenity, and she was born in the NICU. And they're showing me, this is very interesting. They're saying that that same fight that she had, she was born in the NICU. She weighed like 2.5 pounds when she was born, and I would go in, and she was my cousin's daughter, and I would pray over her all the time. And a couple of years ago, almost 3 years ago now, her mother passed away at a very young age, and it was devastating to me. I still have a hard time with this, guys. But Serenity graduated from junior high school recently, and I went to her graduation, and her strength is incomparable. Like, I can't even tell you who I've seen that would have as much strength as her. To lose your mother while you're in junior high school. She may have even been in the elementary school at that time, but to lose your mother at such a young age, and to have to endure that pain and suffering the way she did, it's a tough situation, and a story that is one to be acknowledged and really given credit to. And so Spirit, your ancestors are showing that story, because what they told me about that was that you have that same strength that Serenity has. And this child lost their mother at a very young age, and unwelcomed, just out of the blue. One day mom is here, next day mom is gone. And it was very unexpected. And again, she was young, in her 40s. So it's like that same strength that this child has been able to find and to draw on is the same strength that they're saying that you have, that's been bestowed and gifted to you from your ancestors. So see, Serenity was fighting in the NICU from the time that she was born. And that fight that she had has endured her even up until now, into high school. And so it's the same thing with you all, is that you have that same strength, the ability to fight. And they're showing that Serenity didn't need to be taught how to fight. When she was in the NICU, she didn't need anyone to teach her how to fight. She knew how to fight when she came out of the womb. And they're saying it's the same thing with you. You have the fight in you. It's just a matter of pulling it out. And they're saying you are at the end. They're showing me at the finish line, which was a reading that I did the other day. They're saying you're at the finish line. The shift has already occurred. Things are about to start coming into fruition for you in real life. Look at, you have the freaking celebration. This is almost like the surprise card here. There's something coming through that will wow you, that will blow your mind, but you have to shift out of the old by no longer allowing yourself to sit in the energy where you lack freedom. You have to see the bigger picture. The bigger picture is allowing yourself to be stretched and bent and pulled and tugged on. They're showing me, what's his name? Bambi, I think. Like a little green toy. If you know, drop it in the comments. I think it's Bambi, but they're showing me him. And I remember my brothers and I like holding this little guy when we were kids, and we would just pull, and he was so flexible, and he would stretch, and he would bend, and it was like nothing was going to break him. They're saying it's the same thing with you. You just have to make the decision that you're unbreakable. You have to see the strength that your ancestors have given you. And guys, this is why I'm shifting the channel, because this is what pulled me out. This is step one into taking your power back, receiving power, and being filled with all of the things that you truly desire, is this step here. Thank you, ancestors. You guys are freaking phenomenal. I love the heck out of you guys. I'm so humbled and grateful and thankful for your presence, because guys, this is exactly what got me going. My ancestors, the first time I heard my ancestor, I was like, huh? What the heck? And I was like, oh my God, this is phenomenal. And that gave me strength. That pushed me. That gave me power. It made me feel like I belonged. And these are your ancestors coming through to speak this to you. They're speaking this into existence. that you are strength. You represent serenity, power, and freedom is yours for the taking. But in order to take it, you must first surrender. The interesting thing is that I remember years ago, and they're telling me to tell you this, years ago, God told me that in order for something to be a gift, you must receive it. Otherwise, it's just a box that I'm giving to you. And it's the same thing here. The gifts are desiring to be gifted to you. Your ancestors are like, come on, come on, come on, come on. They want to gift you these gifts. But if you don't take the box and unwrap it, it's just a box. It means nothing. And that's where the surrender comes in that says, hey, you know what? I want to be purified and cleansed and rid of the old version of me. I don't want to walk in this blindness that keeps me stuck and trapped. I want to come out. I want to trust the bigger picture, to see the divine detours. I want to be able to trust the magic. I want to be able to allow myself to celebrate and be wowed by my team, by ancestors. I want to tap into my spiritual gifts, right? I want to be able to flow with the ebbs and flows of life. I want to be able to go with the cycles. I want to be able to allow things to happen as they do without it taking away from who I am. I want to be able to get over the things of the past that have kept me back, that have held me back. Okay, even with the distractions, I told you guys a moment ago that my son is traveling. He keeps texting me. I don't know why he's texting me. He's driving. He needs to be driving and focus on the road. But anyways, even with the distractions, you have to push through. I'm not allowing him, the text messages, to distract me because I'm tapped in. And that's what your ancestors are saying. They're like, come on, tap in. You got this. It's time to celebrate. Not sit in this murkiness. This well swallowed you. It spit you out. It flipped you around and put you in a different direction. Yes, it's not what you want. Yes, it's not what you desire. But guess what? It is exactly what you need. It is for your best, for your good. And I'm telling you guys, I know this. When I was in this energy of sitting in this dark abyss, I thought this was the worst thing that could happen to me. I'm like, why would you do this? Why would you separate me from him? I spent 20 years in this relationship. I don't want to leave him. But I'll tell you what happened. Briefly. You'll hear other nuggets in other parts of readings, but I have to share this part because I'm being led to. What happened was I was in this marriage for 20 years and we had suffered a lot of trauma. We got married very young. We didn't really know what we were doing. We were just two young Christian kids who thought we were going to just live happily ever after. We had no clue, guys. At some point, I started to feel pressure. And some of you may be feeling this, which is why Spirit is bringing this to my attention, and your ancestors want me to share this with you. There was pressure. This pressure was 2 walls just caving in on me. 2 walls. And they just tightened, and they would get tighter and tighter. And I would feel this in my physical body. My physical body would suffer, guys. I mean, I couldn't sleep at night. I was exhausted nonstop. I was absolutely depressed because I was stuck in limbo. I don't want to leave this man, yet I'm feeling pushed and forced out of this marriage. And that was one of the most devastating things to me because why do I have to leave this marriage? I've endured so much. I've already taken so many hits from him. Why would I have to leave now? I mean, now I thought we were on the high road. No. The walls just kept tightening and tightening and tightening and tightening. And I felt at points and times like I was going to die. I would hear my ancestors and spirit guides say it's either you or him. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm not going to die. I don't want to die over him. God, like he's done a lot to me. No, thank you. I'm cool. I'll choose myself. But I didn't know how to choose myself. I didn't even know what that looked like. And so I was just feeling tight, more tightening, to the point to where the road was no longer like this, where I could go that way or this way. It became like this. It was a dead end. And the only way out was out. I had to move forward. That was that well swallowing me. While I was inside of the well, I was suffocating. That was while I was with him, while I was in that relationship. I was suffocating inside of the well. I couldn't breathe. Life had taken over me. And I didn't know how to get out. but to get out because the walls were caving in. And if I didn't get out, I was going to be suffocated to the point of non-existence. And what that meant was I was going to completely lose myself. I had already lost most of me. I'd say 90% of me was handed over to him. Because I thought when you get married, you just, you kind of just, I was an idiot. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I was an idiot, guys. I had no clue. I was just a very naive, young, innocent gal who thought I was supposed to give everything over to my husband and then God would take care of the rest. I just didn't know. But I was losing more and more of me. Like I said, I swear, it was like 90% of me was gone and I only had 10% of me left. For some of you, that's how you feel. Like there's only 10% of you left. That's where that throat chakra was coming in earlier, where you feel you have no way of expressing yourself. You don't know where to start. You don't even know who you are. You don't even know what you like. You don't even know where to start. And let me tell you, if that's you, you're in the right place, my brother, my sister. Thank you for joining this tribe. You're in the right place because this is the point where the shift actually comes into manifestation for you. And the reason why is because you are being forced, gently forced by the wall to find yourself, find your path to freedom, to see things from a higher perspective. And the surrender comes in when you're like, I don't have any other options. My body is aching everywhere. I can't sleep at night. God, if I can't sleep, what the heck am I doing here, right? That's how I felt. Like, why am I alive if I can't sleep? Because I want to sleep. I don't know about you guys, but I want to sleep. If you feel that way, this is your path to self-expression. This is your path to shining. This is your destiny. Guys, this is the point where everything in your life shifts, and all it takes is for you to completely surrender by saying, I just don't want to be broken anymore. I don't want to be broken. I don't want to sit in a space where I have no peace. I don't want to not see the big picture. I don't want to resist all of the celebratory moments that are trying to come in for me. If you're already out of that energy, you've already moved past, you've already accepted that this is a divine detour, but you still feel the energy of that trapped within you, this is your space to surrender and your place and time to surrender and say, hey, you know what? Ancestors, help me. Help me. We often overlook one of the smallest things, and that's just to simply ask for help. Our ancestors are here to guide us and lead us to our destiny. Okay? A lot of people think that, their ancestors are talking to them frequently. I don't know, because I'm not the ancestor pro. I only know based on my experiences. So I would consider myself an expert in my own experiences, not in everybody else's experiences. But I feel like your ancestors come in to guide you to your destiny, and then they kind of drop off. I remember when I got to a certain point, I asked, I'm like, where are you guys? Like, what happened? Did you freaking ditch me? You were talking to me every day and then now you're gone? Like, what happened? And I heard them say, no, we're here. We never leave you. But you've arrived. And I'm like, where? It's like y'all dropped me off at the bus station over in freaking, the hood or something. Like, it was like I got dropped off on Skid Row. Because I'm like, I don't know where to go from here. But they're like, yes, you do. Yes, you do. Trust your intuition. Trust in yourself. We brought you here to teach you how strong you are, to teach you how resilient you are, to show you the strength that you naturally possess, that you had when you were a baby in that NICU, when you were almost near death and didn't have anyone to help you. You fought by yourself. Do the same thing now. It's in you. Guys, your ancestors are telling you that, not me. It's in you. You have to believe it. That's where your freedom is. In accepting and embracing that this well swallowed me and spit me out in this direction, that means this is the right direction for me. Whether I see it or not, come hell or high water, I'm determined to make sure that I get to the destined location. And if you desire to be in union, I'm going to get to my partner and nobody's going to stop me. And let me tell you guys about that. A lot of times people think that, you know, your decisions are stupid. I remember when I first said I was going to leave my ex, people were like, what is wrong? I cannot tell you how many people were against me. I mean, like, everybody. Everybody, like, what the heck are you doing? Like, I have very supportive parents. Like, they were like, what the heck are you doing? My family, what are you doing? My friends, nobody knew what I was doing because they didn't know what I was dealing with. So people are going to look at you and think you're stupid. They don't see this. See, the coyote puts on a good front. The coyote looks very kind. This looks like a household dog. Oh my God, so cute. Oh, I love him. Oh, he's got these feathers. He's sparkly. This is such a beautiful energy. No, the coyote is conniving. The coyote is manipulative. The coyote is a liar. And I'm not saying that that's a specific person. I'm just saying that's the energy of that, right? Other people don't necessarily see that because that coyote may have been able to wear a mask. People might have been saying, why are you leaving that job? That job is perfect. It pays you, you know, a ton of money an hour. And you're like, I'm suffering. I hate the job. Do you know what I have to deal with in those hospitals? No, thank you. Do you know what doctors do to nurses? No, thank you. You know, it's that type of energy where outsiders have no clue. But when you're in, you know what's going on there. So yes, people may shun you, tell you you're stupid, may ostracize you. Okay, fine. I'm going to find peace in my strength. Find peace in your strength. I don't know why they're having me like go off on these tangents and share all these stories with you guys, but anyway. Anyways, the self-expression card here, I want to just say something about that they're showing me. This self-expression card is your opportunity to explore the world, but you're going to explore the world through a new lens, through a different perspective. And this perspective is going to allow you to see yourself, guys. So as you surrender to the divine, surrender to your ancestors, you're going to recognize that just by you simply asking for help, they're going to come in to assist and support you, but you're going to notice your perspective will shift more and more over time, and it will allow you to transition into complete surrender to where you're able to purify and cleanse that energy out of you. To at some point you're going to be like, oh my gosh, this is so awesome. I didn't even recognize how trapped I really was. Look at this. Happiness is freedom from fear. Oh my God. Who are these ancestors? They're so phenomenal, guys. Look at this trap too. Look, it's like a trap in here. It's literally, they keep showing these traps, like a portal of stuff being trapped, almost like a garbage can of trapped energies. Not a can, like a garbage bag. It's the energy of not releasing the expectations, not releasing the shame attached to letting these things go. It's stuff like that that's coming through. It's like it's a detaching energy. Like this is like your ancestors saying, detach from it. Detach from all of this. Detach from not being free. Okay, what's the opposite of freedom is, you know, like being trapped. So detach from being trapped, guys. That's what this is about. Detaching from being trapped and entangled in energies that are connected to some sort of pain, past pains. Detach from that. When it, if I could read, why am I screaming? When it feels right, do it. Oh my gosh. That's awesome, because this is giving me like so much energy too about not forcing yourself, but in those moments, you know, when the ancestors were showing earlier, like in those moments where you feel these energies come up, because that's another thing too, is we can't force these things to come to the surface. But for a lot of you, there's stuff coming to the surface right now. So as it comes, pause the video and sit in it. Sit in it. Allow yourself to feel it. Every bit of it. Feel it. Like, dang, that actually hurt. That hurt my feelings. That was offensive. That made me feel shameful. I'm embarrassed by the fact that I, could be married to somebody who could do such a thing. God, they really fooled me. And you know what? I fell for it. Yes, I love them. I still love them, even though they did all that to me. Allow yourself to feel all of that. There's no shame in choosing to love. To me, the shame that should be felt, and I've felt shame and love, guys. I've been embarrassed in all kinds of ways. Publicly, privately, embarrassed. You wouldn't even believe my story if I told you. So I get it. I get carrying the shame of what somebody else has done to you. I understand that very well. But what I've recognized on this end, seeing the bigger picture, is that the only shame that should be felt is the shame that is felt by someone who's not willing to take a risk. Because in order to receive divine love, even to give that love to yourself, you have to take a risk. This is about taking a risk on yourself. You've taken a risk on everybody else. You've given everybody else all the chances in the world. What about you? You don't think you deserve to be taken on you, right? I'm like, how come I can't get it out? You don't think you deserve for a risk to be taken? Do you feel that undeserving of yourself that you think that you are that low of yourself to where you feel like you don't deserve freedom? Why should you be trapped? Especially when someone did this to you. Why should you be trapped? And there's another shift too. This didn't happen to me. This happened for me. And it is for my good. Don't worry about what happens to that other person. Let God deal with them. The word says, vengeance is mine, says the Lord. And if you know anything about God, if you know anything about your ancestors, I know my ancestors, they don't play. I would not recommend anybody mess with me. And it's not even a threat. I just wouldn't do it. Ancestors will back us up. They'll support us. They are the ones who are like, this is them. Okay. They're fighting for you to be strong for the benefit of your collective lineage. So for them, they take this stuff very personal. Allow them to deal with those people. Don't pay them any mind. Don't give them any breath either. I don't think that they're deserving of it. It's like, okay, you did what you did. Thanks. Thank you. Did me a favor, right? And it's hard to get to that point. But when you get there, you're like, you see everything through a different lens. You're like, I'm not even wasting my time on this. Good luck. Because you'll recognize that there's nothing shameful about doing the right thing. If you love somebody, you were doing the right thing. If you cared for somebody, you were doing the right thing. And you're going to do even greater by putting yourself first. It's time for you to take back the power that has been gifted to you. It's time for you to receive what you've given. For a lot of you, you've given so much and not been able to receive anything in return, not even a portion of it. And Spirit is saying that that's the shift, is now it's time for you to receive. Now it's time for the giver to become the receiver. For a lot of us, we gave to those who take. And I was just talking to my son about this recently. I'm like, as long as you're a giver, there's going to be takers, son. So I need you to be cautious and to be aware of who you're giving to. But guys, this is the reversal of that. And I don't know if you watched my little video. I think I mentioned it in that video when I talked about the channel changes. But this is not only the year of alignment. A lot of astrologers are calling this a year of alignment. For me, God gives me a word every year. And he told me this is the word or the year of recompense. You know what recompense is? It's a receiving of what was stolen from you. So basically, it's like the Seven of Swords energy in the reverse. Now you're going to get back everything that everybody tried to steal from you. Now God's going to give it back to you. He's going to restore it back to you. So, the scripture in the Bible that talks about restoring what the locust has stolen, it's that type of energy. Like, you have been breadcrumbed for far too long. The challenge, though, is that you've been breadcrumbing yourself. So we got to start there, because everything starts with you, and then it trickles down into everything else around you. If you want a relationship, a divine partnership where it's reciprocal, you got to start reciprocating with yourself first. Start pouring into you what you're giving out. Don't pour, and then you're just sitting over here flatlined with an empty cup. Like, you got to pour into you, pour a little bit out to others, allow them to give it back. If they don't give it back, okay, I see you're not on my page anymore. We're not in alignment. Gotta go. Bye. Bob had a baby. It's a boy. It's like you have to figure out, start assessing, observing. Sagittarian energy, this is the energy of knowledge. They're wise. They want to learn. They love to explore. They want to see, oh, well, what's over here? It's like Bob the Builder, Dory energy, where let me go investigate this. So investigate. If I give to you, what are you giving back? Even with family. If I pour into you, what are you pouring back? Are you here to just steal my energy? Because I've had a lot of my energy stolen already, right? It's been siphoned. This pain has stolen my energy and stored it in my body, stored it in my being, preventing me from freedom. So now, as I see things from a different perspective, I need to be able to receive. I need energies that reciprocate. That's the Six of Pentacles energy. And this is a gift. You'll notice an ancestor attempting to give you a gift of something that you may have even dreamt about as a child. It's something connected to the home, to your security, your safety, your stability. So that could be money, that could be a partnership, that could be stability. Okay, maybe some of you need a new apartment or a new house, somewhere to stay. Guys, I promise you, when you choose yourself, your ancestors and God will step in to make sure that you are reciprocated and given what it is that you need for stability. Stability is something that is naturally just given to us. But you have to choose you first, because the choosing you is a part of the surrender. It's saying, I'm no longer going to allow everybody else to be more important and significant than me. I'm choosing freedom, and it starts with me. I'm going to free myself from things that prevent me from being free. The Strength card here is going back to what your ancestors were showing earlier in regards to I'm like, is this recording? It was 1:11 when I looked at the clock, the timer, guys. But the Strength card is connected to the serenity energy here of you having this innate strength. You have infinite possibilities before you. It's just a matter of you seeing and recognizing that, seeing your divinity, aligning to it, and then focusing and honing in on that. The journey of strength, of finding personal freedom, taking your power back, that journey is one that is very lonely. It can feel very isolated at times, and it's one that requires extreme courage. It's easy for people to rely on everybody else. It's very hard to rely on yourself when you haven't seen reliability in others. It's also hard to rely on yourself when you haven't been able to trust yourself. When you've made mistakes, when you've chosen paths that were deceptive, that may have caused challenges and issues in your past, that's going to align you with mistrust, right? You're going to be like, I can't trust myself. Oh my God, I've made terrible decisions in the past. It takes more courage to say, I made decisions in the past that were invalid and incorrect, but now I see. Now I'm wise. I recognize my strength. I recognize that my ancestors are present, and I'm choosing to align with the destined path that they're pushing me on, because I know that it's for my best and highest good. You're also going to feel something within you nudging you to move in a specific direction. So it's not just that your ancestors are nudging at you. You're feeling this intuitively as well. Like, hey, I think I'm being called to go in this direction. There's also a grace and patience. This Temperance card is screaming grace and patience to me right now. There's a grace and a patience that has to be given to yourself in these moments. They're showing me a fishtail braid, and I don't know if you know what a fishtail braid is, but those, I remember seeing people get fishtail braids as a kid, and I remember wanting to get my hair braided like that, and it's very challenging. In order to accomplish a fishtail braid, you have to be diligent, focused, and you also have to be patient. It requires a lot of grace, because if you mess up, you need to undo that and then go back and do it over. It's like a crossover, something, you know. So they're showing that to say, in order for you to be able to reach the freedom, it's going to require that you first give to yourself. Stop giving to individuals who don't reciprocate. It's going to also ask that you pour into yourself, taking time to sit with your energy, taking time to consider how you can express yourself. It's also going to require that you release the fears. That is something that requires strength, guys. Courage is needed to free yourself from fears, because the fears are what's holding you back. You know, they're telling me what they used to tell me. Everything you desire is on the other side of fear. So what's keeping you from everything that you desire? What fears are holding you back? What fears are keeping you stagnant? What fears are not allowing you to celebrate? What fears in regards to the direction that you're going in are preventing you from finding peace in this direction? What doesn't feel right? What's causing you to not be able to sleep at night? If you can't sleep at night, something's causing you to stay awake. That's typically something that you're trying to control. And it's typically rooted in fear. So when you can't sleep, ask yourself, what is this? Unless it's coffee, guys. That happens to me. I drink a bunch of coffee and then I'm like, I can't go to sleep. And then I'm like, what the heck is wrong with me? I'm like, oh my God, I drank all that coffee. Which is probably going to happen to me tonight. But anyways, that's another story. But yeah, what is keeping you up at night? What fears are preventing you from creating and finding peace? Okay. Oh, one more thing. What fears are keeping you in protective mode? For some of you, they're showing that you're covering yourself up like a crab, trying to keep yourself hidden, and it's just a form of protection based in fear. It's rooted in fears. So your ancestors are asking you to assess these things as you move forward into more celebratory experiences. Remember that celebration is near. The shift has already taken place in the spirit realm. We're just waiting for it to trickle down into the world that we actually live in. And this only comes when we release our fears. All right, guys. Thank you so much for being present. Thanks for being here, listening, watching, commenting, subscribing, liking. Thank you for everything that you do. I love you guys. I'm praying for you guys. I hope you have the most amazing night. I hope that this resonated with you. I hope it made sense. You guys know I was jabbering a whole lot tonight. Thank you so much. Remember how powerful you are. Remember how powerful you are. Remember how powerful your ancestors are. Remember where you came from, so that you know where you're going. That same strength resides in you. Push forward. You got this. Have a great night, guys. I'll see you soon. Bye.